I feel like the biggest mistake I see barbers make is that they don't realize the power of the personal brand. And if you're watching this right now, you don't realize how powerful you and your business is and who you really are at the end of the day. I wouldn't be sitting here right now at my villa in Bali on a random fucking Thursday. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be a graduate from high school right now, cutting hair in my fucking garage or studio or barbershop. But no, I'm traveling the world at 18 years old and making way bigger impact. And at the end of the day, you need to realize that your personal brand is by far the most important. Start getting yourself out there. Don't just post the cuts and post your skills, but post you, your personality, what makes you different and shit like that. And you're gonna realize that everything's gonna start falling in line for you. The connections, maybe meeting people that are ahead of you. It's a digital world we live in nowadays. It's 2026. And if you aren't building your brand, you're gonna get left behind. So please build your brand so you could start doing shit like this. Whatever it might be, you build the brand and everything else follows. All right, boys, a lot of you guys have no clue who the hell I am. So I'm Hoku Arnold. I'm 18 years old, and not only have I been able to travel the world, but I've been able to scale my business super fucking rapidly with how much pressure and stuff I put on my back. And I want to just tell you guys a little bit about my story. You know, I've been able to not only go from $700 a month or less than that, anywhere from there to 17K a month as a barber. Once I went from 17K a month as a barber, I scaled, went into the coaching. And not only did I invest $70,000 into mentorship, I did get scammed in a couple, but a lot of them gave me the right information, the right blueprints to actually scale. That's why I'm a firm believer in mentorships. And I've been able to scale my coaching business anywhere from 30 to 85K a month. And, you know, we're on track to do literally 7 figures at fucking 18 years old. I'm at a fucking random co-working spot in Bali on a random Saturday, I guess you could say. And life's been fucking insane. But, you know, my house, my barbershop burned down in the fires in 2023. Literally 3 years ago on the dot, August 8th, my house and barbershop got burnt in a fire. So for me to look back on when I was 15 years old, maybe once in your guys' shoes, whenever shit goes and gets thrown at you, you know? Like, I heard a famous quote, and this is kind of what I live by. It's not about the cards that get dealt to you. It's kind of how you deal with them. In a way, something like that. And it's kind of the mindset that I've had because I went through the toughest shit as a young kid as well. I lost my oldest brother when I was 12 years old. Barbershop house burning down years after that. My whole entire town burned down. Many fucking, business. I don't even want to get into it, but a lot of shit that's happened within the business, super stressful and horrible times and whatnot. But you kind of just stick with it no matter what. And I think my biggest and best advice that I could give to one of you guys is know what you want, know what goals you want to hit, and find someone who might be similar in age with you who has gotten the result that you want. Whether that's me or anybody else in the industry, find that person, because once you get the info and get the blueprint from that person, you have a shortcut. This isn't normal for an 18-year-old to live this life, but it's also not normal for an 18-year-old to invest over 70K into mentorships. You see how that works? Right? You can't be on the one side saying, oh, why is this happening to me? Why can't this? Why can't I do that? Why am I not at this guy's level, when you're not willing to take the same jumps and grab your fucking nuts like I was willing to do when I was once your guys' age, maybe younger, maybe older. It doesn't matter, because I guarantee this can still apply to you. So at the end of the day, keep moving your life fucking forward. Don't stop, and find that right mentor. Again, it could be anybody. Find that person. All right? Because mentorships changed my life, and I'll always practice what I preach. So if you made it this far, congratulations. Most people don't have the attention spans to actually make it this far. Anyways, inside of this last piece of value I want to leave you guys on this video, I want to go over 3 main things. Why getting higher paying customers is really the way to go. Why most barbers are stuck in social media. And at the end of the day, I just want to reveal all the sauce and leave nothing fucking back. Let's run it up. The reason why getting higher paying customers is so key is, number one, you're going to allow yourself to have more time. As an entrepreneur and as a business owner, and realize how I'm not labeling myself or yourself as a barber, because we're more than that. People label themselves as barbers and they think it's just a fucking side hustle, or you think you're just an average barber. Remember, guys, I went from barbering for 2 years to running a coaching business, getting close to 7 figures a year later. And it's because I didn't label myself as a barber. Anyways, getting back to the point, higher paying customers, what they can do for you is allow yourself to have more time. And as an entrepreneur, time is your biggest asset. Nothing else beats that. The money doesn't beat the fucking time that you get. There's a reason why millionaires at 40 years old would trade anything to get back into their 20-year-old selves or whatever, right? Because time is something that you can't get back, and time is money, right? You can always bring back money, whether that's investing, courses, mentorships, whatever, to anything, but you can never ever get back time. And that's the biggest and most important lesson throughout all of this. All right. And to add to the higher paying customers, not only will it give you more time, but on top of that, it'll give you a better sense of fulfillment. All right. And a lot of you guys might not understand this when you're charging a low ticket price, but when you get up to maybe coaching, or maybe when you get up to a higher ticket price, you're going to realize that cutting people at $50 a haircut or working with people for a low price is honestly not only hurting your bank account more, but it's hurting yourself, because the people who are paying $20 a cut, $15 a cut, or paying a low price for your offer, they're low quality people. And when you surround yourself with low quality people, you are who you surround yourself with, right? So when you surround yourself with higher quality people who are willing to pay, and I have people paying me, and this is going to be surprising and shocking to a lot of you guys, but I've had people pay me upwards of $20,000 for a service. And these are by far the funnest fucking people to work with, because they understand it. They move with that speed already. I don't have to teach them the baby nitty gritty shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you target that type of person, it's a lot more fulfilling. All right. Because I know a lot of you guys talk to your clients, it's the same clients, and it gets fucking old, and it was hurting my frequency, especially because I knew I was meant for bigger. Another thing I want to add to the higher paying customers is that you're just going to overall make more money. And with more money, what? Right, a lot of you guys might go against the whole materialistic thing. Doesn't mean you have to go buy a supercar, right? Right after this video, and no joke, right after this video, I'm about to pay my dad $50K, but being able to do shit like that is just like something I never would have thought I'd be able to do. And I'm not kidding here. You guys can go check out my Instagram when this video ends up coming out. You guys are gonna see back in August, I was able to do this for my dad, and it's the coolest shit ever. And again, like, this is what money buys. It buys a sense of fulfillment. All right. And I love my dad, I love my family, and being able to provide for them when they needed it, right, is just the best thing I could do, right? The penthouse was cool, the traveling's cool, but when you get to do shit like this, it's a different level, right? It's a different feeling that I'd say you get, and I'm not even doing it at the level I want to be doing it at, all right? And that should give you a sense of inspiration to just make more fucking money, you guys. Just make more, you know? And making more money usually resolves all your other problems, right? I know a lot of people are always complaining about their little bills and shit. And it's like, there's two ways you could look at it. You could focus on the negative and focus on your bills, or you could focus on the positive and focus on making more money. Because if you made more money, would you be worrying about this investment? Would you be worrying about the bills? No, you wouldn't, because you'd be making more money. And that's just the truth that most people do not understand. People cannot get their head around that. Therefore, they stay stuck and keep waiting and keep wasting their time on this fucking earth. Anyways, number two, why do most people and most barbers suck at social media? The main reason is because they're trying to be someone they're not. All right. When you try to be someone you're not, you're simply building a brand that people can see right fucking through, that you are just a shadow of someone else. And nobody likes that. One thing that I realized with content that will put you in the, you know, higher bracket of barbers or higher bracket of people and the industry leaders is that everyone is one of one. No one's really copying each other. Yes, everyone grabs each other's twists and whatnot, but authenticity is something that no one can copy. No one can be another you. You are so blessed to be who you are already. And I say this a lot, but you have unfair advantages. Everyone has an unfair advantages. I have a lot of unfair advantages. Right? You might have a couple, who knows? You're just probably not aware of the unfair advantages that you have. Therefore, you're not even going to know what to double down on. And most of my clients, I always have them fill out a worksheet talking about their unfair advantage and what separates them from the industry, right? Because when you find that, that is your advantage compared to everyone else. It's literally being you, but obviously exaggerating you, right? Because if you're boring and you have 1,000 followers and you keep posting the same shit that gets you 1,000 followers, you're not going to be able to fucking grow. You know what I mean? Obviously, you have to make changes, and obviously you're going to be trying things. But being you, when you get to the bigger leagues, is one of the best things you could possibly do, because you actually build a real brand. A lot of people, like, I could go tell someone, oh yeah, do this, and you're going to get to 100,000 followers. You're going to go stupid viral because you're just fucking a jester. You're just a person who's genuinely going only for the followers. And what that's going to do for the long term is hurt their brand and reputation. Because if barbering is something that you're using as a stepping stone, like I used it as a stepping stone, I built a brand that actually made people like me for who I am, and not only just being a barber. And yes, there was a majority who followed me because of a barber, and I've had people unfollow me because I'm posting a whole different type of content now, which I'm fine with, because I've built a brand well over 200K now. It's like, reality is 200,000 people aren't going to just be like, oh yeah, he's a barber now, I'm going to unfollow. Right? So remember, when I built this brand, I'm able to monetize it and get into way bigger and better stuff because I built it the right way. I didn't just build it for followers. I built it with intention. So when you guys are building your brand, remember, it's not about followers. It's about the quality of those followers, because those guys are going to be potential buyers when you maybe start your own product line, your own brand, your own whatever it fucking might be. I know you guys have these goals in your mind, but you're not going to be able to do that, and you're not going to be able to monetize if you don't do it correctly. And look, you guys, there's almost no way you're going to get to the big leagues of, I'm talking minimum 50K a month, if you do not monetize your brand. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to cut hair, in order to make $50,000 a month as a barber is almost impossible if you do not have any other ways of making money. What I mean by that is, look at the industry leaders
figures counting myself. I have a mentorship, right? I have these certain brand deals and whatnot. Mainly, it's mainly mentorship. I'm not gonna lie, and it's only gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at other guys: Hakeem Huang, Joel Thompson, Deluxe, mentorship. Almost everyone has a damn freaking mentorship nowadays. There's people that are my clients now. That Fisher, for example, he's at 17K a month as a barber, and we're about to get him to minimum 30K a month because he just joined the mentorship as a coach. Now he's gonna be coaching, and instead of him coaching and doing his own thing like every other fucking barber does in the industry, he's doing it with me, which is dope. Anyways, you need to build something bigger out of barbering if you want to make bigger money. Okay, you got to take bigger responsibilities to have bigger results. As simple as the game goes. If you're fine where you're at, so be it. I'm not gonna force you to be and do something else, but most of the time I know you want more, and it's not a bad thing to want more. Don't let society tell you otherwise. Truly, if you feel something, I believe that God's given you that dream for a reason, right? It's like you have that consciousness to go do that. God wouldn't have given you that dream if you couldn't go do it, so go fucking do it. And at the end of the day, if you want to do bigger and better things, build the brand right, monetize it the right way, and move with speed. I'd say by far the best piece of advice is just moving with speed as well. Nobody's promised the tomorrow. Like I said, I went through shitty stuff in my life with my brother passing away, the fires happening, the barbershop, all of that stuff. And like, I didn't know that shit was going to happen the day before, right? But don't wait for a tragedy to happen to have this mindset. Learn it from someone who's already been in this similar shoes as you, or shittier shoes than you, and still made it out, because I didn't get this shit handed to me, bro. And I had to get past that, and I had to make it happen regardless of my fucking situation. You know what I mean? And to tell you this, like I was going to say, no man is promised tomorrow. And when you live like that, when you live with that urgency, you're not going to want to fucking waste your time doom scrolling, bro. You're not going to want to waste your time doing shit that's not pushing your life forward, right? You're going to want to be focusing on the business. You're going to be focusing on your why. And that's the last thing that I would give you guys. You guys have the goal in mind. You guys know what you guys need to do to get there. If you don't, then get someone to fucking help you and hold your hand there to the finish line. Mentorship. And most importantly, you got to have a why to do all this in the first place. And the cool thing about having high quality clients is that I don't have to tell someone who's making 20K a month with me what their why is. Most of the time, these guys know. They know what they want. They know what they want to get. I don't have to force them. A lot of guys who aren't making as much or are kind of lost, which is totally fine. I was once there. A big problem is that you just don't have a big enough why, a big enough drive to do what you say you're going to do, right? Take a step back, figure out what you want to do. If you want the worksheet, comment the why worksheet and we'll send it over to you. And it's simply a worksheet going over like what your why is, what your reasoning behind this is. And I've had people literally print this worksheet out, put it in their wall. Right, this is stronger than a vision board because it reminds people on a constant basis, like, what is your why? Why are you doing this in the first place? I'll give you some of mine. I want to retire my parents. I want to get my dream car, dream house, right? I want to do all this before I'm fucking 22. I essentially want to be the man that can actually protect and provide for my future wife, future kids, right? So when I constantly have that why and that reasoning behind why I'm doing what I'm doing, it pushes me. On those days, I don't feel like it. And I promise you, that's all you need, bro. That's pretty much all I need. And even on my lazy days, it's like, it's hard to stay on track. You know, there's those days. We're all human. At the end of the day, you're going to realize no one really ever has that shit figured out. But the people who are able to stick with it a bit more usually have, you know, a constant little reminder. You know, I got my vision board on my computer. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's a little messy, but my vision board constantly in front of me. And then I have, you know, that dock, like I said, I'm not at my house right now, but I used to have that shit printed out. I would literally have a vision board in my bathroom every time I took my morning piss. I know every single one of you guys fucking pee in the morning. Boom, I'm staring at my vision board. And it's just like, it's just constant. And I'll be honest, like I was able to get probably 90% of the shit that I have on my vision board done in that year of 2025. 2026, similar. I've kind of put myself on bigger goals this year. So it's something new to me. But either way, you guys, a lot of you guys know what you need to do. Just go do it already. Stop waiting for a fucking approval. A lot of you guys don't know what to do and you need to remove your ego. Maybe it's from learning from someone younger. Maybe it's just like you don't want help. But like at the end of the day, man, like why would you waste time when the answer's out there, you know? And that's a mindset I can't force onto anyone. Some people just got it. Some people need to jump on a call with me and figure that out. And if you want to, you guys can apply. Link below to actually fucking jump on a call with me personally and talk it through and really break apart your business and see where you want to go. And if I can help, boom, we make it happen. Because at the end of the day, I'm brutal as shit with my clients. I don't baby anyone. I love to have a good ass time with the guys that are fucking killing it. You know, I don't like to baby around those guys who are lazy as shit. I tell them straight up. you know? So if that's how you want to be coached, or if you're hungry and you're kind of just missing that community, you're missing that coach in your corner, you're missing that information, you already know where to go to, right? But again, you guys, this is almost everything you're going to need to scale. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you actually got value from this, just comment down below what you thought of it. And yeah, we'll speak soon. Peace.